Can you find a Perpetual calendar GMT watch made by a huge Japanese brand that is also a chronograph with alarm? And can you find it for under $200? Yes, you can. This is the Seiko Neo Classic Perpetual calendar, SPC251P1. A few months ago, during a Collection Conundrum livestream, Dave, Shane, and I spent an hour picking a 3-watch collection from Joma Shop using a $500 gift card that they had given to Dave. Dave kept the Alpina, Shane kept the Invicta, and I got this, the Seiko Perpetual chronograph with alarm. I also got to keep the 4th watch, a Darth Vader beauty, and I actually made a pretty fun video about it. I'll leave a link in the description. I was really excited to receive this watch because I'd had my eye on it for a couple of years now. From what I saw online, it was not only a good-looking watch, but it also did a lot of cool stuff. I know this watch looks pretty complicated, and it is, but at the same time, it's not that difficult to operate. Let me show you. If you press the bottom pusher, the red crescent hand will spin around to today's date. Notice that the top subdial is pointing to the day of the week. Press the top right pusher, it will show you the month. Press the top right again, and it will even tell you your relation to the leap year. 2023 is a +3, as next year is a leap year. Note that if you have it pointing to the month or leap year, after about 5 seconds, it will default back to the date. Pushing the bottom pusher will send it to the chronograph position as indicated by the top subdial. From there, the chronograph works like any regular quartz chronograph. Start, stop, reset, easy as that. If you have good eyesight, you can set the lower subdial to track a second time zone as a GMT, or set it to your current time to track it in 24-hour format. You also use it to set your alarm. You can hear what the alarm sounds like by holding down the top pusher for a few seconds. In my opinion, it strikes the perfect volume. Not too loud, not too soft. Now, not only is this a very functional watch, but it is also a handsome timepiece as well. The silver dial catches the light just right, as does the applied Seiko logo at 3. There are silver rings around the subdials, which also play with light in interesting ways. The splashes of red on the pointer date hand and on the dial add just a touch of visual interest alongside the hands, which are a deep, deep black, providing lots of contrast. The proportions are fantastic. At 40.5 by 46.5, by 10 millimeters thick, and with negative end links on the bracelet, it wears so well on the wrist. The case is a mix of satin and polished finishes, with far more angles and curves than you might notice at first glance. But when you take the time to look past the busy dial, you find one of Seiko's more interesting cases at this price point. The pushers are relatively simple, but the crown is adorned by an acrylic gem that complements the hands. It's up to you whether or not that's a plus or a minus. Then there's the bracelet. I want to like the bracelet. And in many ways I do. It's well articulated and thus exceptionally comfortable. And I'm lucky enough that the butterfly clasp just happens to fit me well. But the clasp really signals sub $200 watch. And something about the style overall just feels off. And I'm not sure what. Maybe it has something to do with the dial being so busy that the watch doesn't need a faux 7-link bracelet to add to the visual distraction. Anyway, I've seen worse, I've seen better. I'd probably swap this out to a leather strap permanently, but like I said, this thing is so dang comfortable. Do with that what you will. I've got a few other quibbles as well. I'm not a huge fan of italicized font on watches. No slopey letters for this guy, thank you very much. And I wish that the dial was whiter and less silver. It was actually kind of a letdown, as some images online look almost white. I'm looking at you, Joma Shop. Maybe wish I'd pushed for the black dial. It can be a bit complicated to set. Just check out the instruction manual. It can hold down a house in a hurricane. And I don't think I'm a fan of the acrylic insert. I guess I wish they just maybe beef this thing up a little bit, straighten out the font, added a nice simple bracelet, and a simple signed crown. Still, overall, I think this is a great buy if you like what you see. Yes, it may be a bit tricky to set, but once you figure it out, it's actually pretty intuitive, even for a dummy like me. And unlike Mecha Quartz, if this thing gets out of alignment, it can all be set right back to plumb. And so long as you don't change the battery, It's going to keep that date and time accurately for many, many years. All you will need to do is adjust the time by a few seconds every month, or twice a year if you're unlucky enough to live in a daylight savings time zone. And I haven't yet mentioned that you often don't see sub $200 Seikos with sapphire crystal, which this does, meaning that, along with 50 meters of water resistance, this watch is actually pretty durable as well as functional and informative. MSRP on this is $425, but you can buy it right now for $199 US at Joma Shop. And since they provided this watch for free, I'll do them a favor and add a link down below. Thanks, Joma. Thanks to all of you for watching. If you found this video to be entertaining or educational, why not check out one of these great videos down below for more watch content.